No more! Free, free!
There have been countless protests outside the Pakistan embassy in London, but the purpose of this demonstration has struck a chord with millions throughout the world. Last week, 5,000 miles away, in the predominantly Christian village of Mera Jaffar in Islamabad, an 11-year-old girl was arrested for allegedly burning pages from the Koran. Rimsha Masih is reported to have Down syndrome. She's been held under the country's strict blasphemy laws. Anyone found guilty of desecrating the Koran can be jailed for life.
The problem with the blasphemy law is it protects one faith only, specifically the Islamic faith. It speaks of the Prophet Muhammad, it speaks about not desecrating the Quran. It doesn't make reference to other faiths. I hope Pakistan's government takes note of this, because I believe simple changes can make society there more productive, more egalitarian, and a fairer society will develop. But that's up to them to make that decision.
People of all faiths came to show their support for the family of the young child, including Muslims, who describe many of Pakistan's laws as outdated.
The blasphemy laws, there is no such thing in Islam as blasphemy law. Islam is for freedom of expression. If somebody blasphemes, that's for the person. It's a bad thing to do. But for the courts to enforce blasphemy laws, this has nothing to do with Islam whatsoever. It's politics, it's fundamentalism.
I have nothing against fundamentalism as long as it does not give bad name to Islam. Because I don't want to hear anything against Islam myself. But the way it is going on with blasphemy law, I think it's giving bad name not only to Pakistan but to the whole Muslim community and to the humanity as well.
In the past, many of those accused of blasphemy have been killed by violent mobs, and politicians have been targeted. Last year, Shahbaz Bhatti, the Minister of Minority Affairs, was killed after calling for a repeal of the blasphemy laws. Rimsha Masih is being held in a juvenile detention facility. Human rights activists are calling for her immediate release.
They're not geared up to look after a child with Down syndrome. This is injustice in its maximum level, and we're hoping that this will have some effect in making Pakistan realise that they cannot continue to abuse minorities in this fashion.
I want world leaders to put pressure on Pakistan. They have to put pressure onto them, all the leaders around the world, so that this little girl is free. She has to be returned to her parents. It's no different from a child that's been kidnapped. It's no different from when we have the stories of children being kidnapped and we're appealing to anybody, but we know where this child is, we know who's holding her. She must be released and returned to her family.
Christian Solidarity Worldwide is an organisation which promotes religious freedom and supports victims of the blasphemy law, like Rimsha Masih, around the world.
Why is it that a small accusation can erupt into such a huge issue like this? Why is there so much violence? Why are the police acting in the way that they are? There are some really serious systemic issues and problems that this case has highlighted that many of other people have suffered as well. And our job is, as it were, to cast light on those and to do all that we can to encourage the government of Pakistan to change some of those systemic problems.
Pukaar News has tried on several occasions to contact the Pakistani High Commission about the Rimsha Masih case, but they have refused to comment.